Good morning, class. How are you doing today?
Uh, I'm good, teacher. Little sleepy, but ready to learn.
I'm so glad to hear that. Today, we are going to be learning about something called the hero's journey. Have you ever heard of that before, Nina?
No, teacher. I never hear before. What is hero's journey?
The hero's journey is a narrative structure that a lot of writers use to tell a story. We are going to learn about that today, and we're going to learn some vocab through this lesson. What do you think about that?
Oh, okay. I think that sounds fun. I want to learn how story work and new words too.
That's great to hear. Now, we are going to learn about the hero's journey through one of my favorite people. His name is Ling Wang from Taiwan. Do you know who he is?
Uh, I don't know him. Is he writer or movie person?
So, he is a writer and he wrote a very famous book called Korra in 2008. Now, the word Korra means pilgrimage. Do you know what the word pilgrimage means?
Pilgrimage is like long trip for heart or spirit, maybe go to special place.
You're right on the nose about that. What a pilgrimage is basically someone going through a spiritual journey. Now, it doesn't always have to be religious, but again, it's mainly about someone trying to learn more about who they are through a particular trip somewhere. Now, Ling went through a pilgrimage in Tibet in which he basically circled a mountain called Mount Kailash. And he did this because he had a really bad breakup with his girlfriend in college. And after he finished the pilgrimage, he was sort of thinking about what he had to do to return to school. And he realized that he forgot the name of the school and the fact that he had to pay tuition. And his big takeaway was that people could lose a sense of who they are. What do you think he was feeling as he went through those things?
Maybe he feel very lost, like not sure who he is or what to do next. Maybe confused and sad too.
Yeah, so he was going through all those things. And a lot of time, people go on these sort of hero's journeys to learn more about themselves. Now, Ling was able to secure a grant to bike across Tibet for 2 months in the winter. And as he was training to do that, a lot of people, including his mom, people who are really into biking, thought that it wasn't a great idea. But even though they said all those things to him and tried to dissuade him from biking, he still pressed on and decided to do the trip. What do you think that says about him?
I think he is very strong. Like, he believe in himself and don't give up. Even when people say no, he still do it. He is very brave.
That's right. In other words, he showed determination. And the word determination is all of those things that you just talked about: being brave, not giving up. Does that make sense?
Yes, teacher, it makes sense. Determination is keep going, even when hard. Like Ling.
Mm hmm. So, again, all of that is part of the departure stage. Someone showing determination to begin their journey. Now, from that, he enters something called the initiation phase. What do you think the word initiation means?
Initiation maybe mean beginning? Like when something start for real?
Sorta. What initiation means more of is, in the context of the hero's journey, is stepping into the unknown and facing challenges along the way. Now, we are going to talk about a couple of those challenges to understand the initiation phase and some vocab, okay?
Okay, teacher. I understand now. Initiation is like when hero meet problems and must be strong. I want to learn more.
Great. Now, I'm going to tell a couple anecdotes from the book. So, the first two that I want to talk about are about one in which a girl was sort of helping Ling push his bike up a hill. But he sort of learned that the girl only did that because
Okay, so little girl help him with the bike?
yes. So the girl helped him with the bike, but she only did that because she wanted money
Oh,
from him.
that sound kind. What happened next?
So she did that because she wanted money from him, and he grabbed her hand in a very aggressive way. Another story from the book was that he basically broke a water bottle and he basically tried to escape the owner from that. And then when the owner caught up to him, the owner got angry at him, and Ling was wondering why the owner was angry. Now, from these two experiences with the girl and with the housekeeper, what do you think he was feeling?
Uh, Maybe he feel confused or guilty? Like he know he do something wrong, but also don't know why he act like that.
That's right. Again, he grabbed the little girl's hand and he basically tried to not pay for something that he broke. In other words, he was facing something called self doubt. What do you think that term self doubt means?
Uh, Self-doubt is like when you don't believe in yourself. You feel maybe you are bad or not sure who you are anymore.
That's right, because the word self means you and doubt means wondering. So, in other words, you're questioning yourself. And that Ling was questioning who he was as a person in those instances. And a huge part of the hero's journey is someone going through challenges, and those challenges often show moments of self doubt within the character. Now, do you understand how those two events showed Ling being exposed to his self doubt?
Yes, I understand, teacher. When he grabbed the girl hand and run from paying, he see himself do bad things and he feel why I do this. That is self-doubt, right?
That's right. He was wondering if he was a good person. Now, another story that I want to tell was that he basically almost fell off a mountain. And after he almost fell off the mountain, when he got to the city or town that he was visiting, he basically cried all night long. What do you think he felt from that?
Uh, Maybe he feel scared, like really close to die, and maybe also very tired and small inside. So he cry, all the feeling come out.
That's right. But even though he almost died, he continued on with his trip.
Thank you, teacher. I feel sad for him, but also I think he grows stronger from that.
That's right. Because even though he went through that experience, he pushed on. Do you know what word that means to push on even though you face challenges?
Uh, Maybe? endure, or persevere. Like, keep going, even when very hard.
That's right. Persevere. Even though he went through all that, he kept going, even though the mountains were really high and that it was really cold. Now, we're going to focus on the very last part of the hero's journey called the return, okay?
Oh, okay, teacher, I understand. The last part is return. I'm ready to learn it.
So, when he got to his final destination, he wasn't.
So, what happened when he returned, teacher?
So, at the very end of it, he didn't feel the excitement that he thought he would have gotten after biking 1900 kilometers across Tibet. But when he sold his bike, he got an email from a guy a couple years later. And the story was that he took the bike that Ling sold him and biked from China all the way to Mount Everest. How do you think Ling felt when he read that email?
Sorry, I'm having issues right. Could not understand what you said.
How do you think Ling felt after reading the email about the guy who took his bike and biked all the way to Mount Everest?
Uh, I think he feel very touched, maybe surprised too. Like his journey help another person. That make him feel warm inside.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he felt. And he felt that way because of a word called empathy. Do you know what that word empathy means?
Uh, empathy is like when you feel what another person feel. Like you understand their pain or happy, even if it not happened to you.
That's right. The guy who bought the bike from Ling,
Yay. Thank you, teacher. I feel proud I understand that.
yeah, and Ling felt empathy towards the guy, and the guy felt empathy towards him because they shared the same mutual challenges of going through something difficult. And seeing each other overcome challenges both made them stronger as people.
Uh, I see. So they both feel same, even if not meet before. That is very beautiful, teacher.
Yeah. Now, to close off the lesson, I want to try to apply what we just learned to our English class. Now, we just learned about the story of Ling and his sort of hero's journey. How do you think we can apply the words that we learned into our class?
Yes, teacher. We learn about Ling's story and the three parts: departure, initiation, and return.
That's right. Now, how can we apply those words that we learned, perseverance and empathy into our class?
Uh, we can use perseverance when we learn English. Like, even when it's hard, we don't give up. We keep trying, like Ling.
That's right. And how can we use empathy to help each other out?
Uh, we can use empathy when friend feels sad or struggle. We try to understand and help them. Like, say, it's okay, I feel same before, and support them.
That's right. Because we're all going through this together. And sometimes we are going to face challenges. And that if we face challenges, we need to learn to rely on others and help and hope that others see that we feel the same, right? That we are not above each other or below each other, but that we are all in this together. And that's what empathy does. It helps us connect with one another so that when we go through this class throughout this year, that if we have empathy towards each other, that we're more likely to help each other and more likely to grow to each other because we feel connected. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense, teacher. If we have empathy, we can feel together, grow together, not alone. I like that.
All right. You did so well today. Let's make sure that throughout the rest of the year, we apply ourselves in the same way that Ling did, never giving up, always trying our best, and always trying to see ourselves in others, okay?
Okay, teacher. I will try my best. Like Ling, thank you for the lesson. I feel happy today.
Great. All right. I'll see you later, okay?
Okay, teacher. See you next time. Bye bye.